practice exams. Subject: Canada and its people. Module: Canada, Who Are We? Chapter: Set 1. Acadians are descendants of A. French colonists who settled in the Maritime Provinces in 1604. B. First Nations who settled in the Maritime Provinces in 1604. C. French colonists who settled in the Prairie Provinces in 1604. D. Inuit who settled in Yukon in 1604. The answer is A. French colonists who settled in the Maritime Provinces in 1604. The Acadians are the descendants of French colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. Anglophones are A. French-speaking people. B. English-speaking immigrants. C. People who speak English as a first language. D. People who speak languages other than English. The answer is C. People who speak English as a first language. English and French are the two official languages and are important symbols of identity. English speakers, Anglophones, and French speakers, Francophones, have lived together in partnership and creative tension for more than 300 years. Since the 1970s, most immigrants to Canada have come from A. Europe, B. Africa, C. the United States of America, D. Asia. The answer is D. Asia. Many ethnic and religious groups live and work in peace as proud Canadians. Since the 1970s, most immigrants have come from Asian countries. The Aboriginal peoples of Canada are A. the first inhabitants of Canada. B. people born in Canada. C. French explorers. D. immigrants from Australia. The answer is A. the first inhabitants of Canada. The ancestors of Aboriginal peoples are believed to have migrated from Asia many thousands of years ago. They were the first inhabitants of Canada. The Canadian coat of arms and motto Amariusque ad mare means A. from land to sky. B. from sea to land. C. from sea to sea. D. from coast to coast. The answer is C. from sea to sea. As an expression of national pride after the First World War, Canada adopted an official coat of arms and a national motto, Amariusque ad mare, which in Latin means from sea to sea. The highest honor available to Canadians is A. the Queen's Cross. B. the Victoria Cross. C. the Victoria Medal. D. the Queen's Medal. The answer is B. the Victoria Cross. The Victoria Cross, VC, is the highest honor available to Canadians and is awarded for the most conspicuous bravery, a daring or preeminent act of valor or self-sacrifice, or extreme devotion to duty in the presence of the enemy. The three oceans that line Canada's frontiers are A. Pacific, Arctic, Hudson's Bay. B. Arctic, Atlantic, Pacific. C. Atlantic, Hudson's Bay, Pacific. D. Antarctic, Pacific, Atlantic. The answer is B. Arctic, Atlantic, Pacific. Canada is the second largest country on Earth, 10 million square kilometers. Three oceans line Canada's frontiers: the Pacific Ocean in the west, the Atlantic Ocean in the east, and the Arctic Ocean to the north. What are the first two lines of O Canada, the national anthem? A. O Canada, our home and native land. We stand on guard for thee. B. O Canada, keep our land glorious and free. We stand on guard for thee. C. O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. D. O Canada, our home and native land. The true north strong and free. The answer is C. O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. O Canada was proclaimed as the national anthem in 1980. The first two lines of O Canada is O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all thy sons command. What are the two official languages in Canada? A. English and Chinese. B. English and German. C. English and French. D. English and Flemish. The answer is C. English and French. English and French define the reality of day-to-day life for most people and are the country's official languages. When did Canada become a country? A. 1667. B. 1767. C. 1867. D. 1967. The answer is C. 1867. The British Parliament passed the British North America Act in 1867. The Dominion of Canada was officially born on July 1, 1867. When is Canada Day? A. July 1st. B. July 10th. C. July 21st. D. July 21st. The answer is A. July 1st. Canada Day is celebrated on July 1st of each calendar year. When was the Canadian Pacific Railway completed? A. Late 1500s. B. Late 1600s. C. Late 1700s. D. Late 1800s. The answer is D. Late 1800s. British Columbia joined Canada in 1871 after Ottawa promised to build a railway to the west coast. On November 7, 1885, a powerful symbol of unity was completed when Donald Smith, Lord Strathcona, the Scottish-born director of the Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, drove the last spike. Where do more than half of the population live in Canada? A. Central Canada. B. Pacific Coast. C. Atlantic Coast. D. Prairie Provinces. The answer is A. Central Canada. More than half the people in Canada live in cities and towns near the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River in southern Quebec and Ontario, known as Central Canada and the industrial and manufacturing heartland. Where do the majority of French-speaking Canadians live? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Manitoba. D. British Columbia. The answer is B. Quebec. English and French define the reality of day-to-day life for most people and are the country's official languages. Most French-speaking Canadians live in Quebec. Which country invented the sport basketball? A. The United States of America. B. Canada. C. Germany. D. China. The answer is B. Canada. Basketball was invented by Canadian James Naismith in 1891. Which country lies on the southern border of Canada? A. Cuba. B. Mexico. C. United States of America. D. Brazil. The answer is C. United States of America. The United States of America lies on the southern border of Canada. Canadians and Americans cross every year and in safety what is traditionally known as the world's longest undefended border. Which ethnic group was very important in the completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway? A. Chinese. B. French. C. German. D. Japanese. The answer is A. Chinese. The Canadian Pacific Railway project was financed by British and American investors and built by both European and Chinese labor. Which group of Aboriginal peoples has the largest population living in the Northwest Territories and Nunavut? A. The First Nations and the Inuits. B. Acadians. C. Inuit. D. Métis. The answer is C. Inuit. In Nunavut, the population is about 85% Inuit. In the Northwest Territories, more than half the population is Aboriginal, Dene, Inuit and Métis. Canada is often called what by poets and songwriters? A. The Great Satan. B. The Great Democracy. C. The Great Force. D. The Great Dominion. The answer is D. The Great Dominion. How many groups make up the Aboriginal people of Canada? A. 5. B. 3. C. 4. D. Nobody knows. The answer is B. 3. Among Canadian Christians, what is the most common affiliation? A. Methodist. B. Baptist. C. Catholic. D. Orthodox. The answer is C. Catholic. Which of these is the Canadian system of government? A. Republican democracy. B. Benign dictatorship. C. Constitutional monarchy. D. Autocracy. The answer is C. Constitutional monarchy. The Canadian government stopped trying to force Aboriginal children to integrate into mainstream Canadian culture in what decade? A. 1950s. B. 1920s. C. 1980s. D. 1890s. The answer is C. 1980s. First Nations make up what percentage of Canada's Aboriginal peoples? A. 35%. B. 85%. C. 65%. D. 15%. The answer is C. 65%. In Vancouver and Toronto, which of these languages is the second most commonly spoken at home, after English? A. Chinese. B. Spanish. C. Pashto. D. Swahili. The answer is A. Chinese. How many people in Canada have French as their first language? A. 7 million. B. 4 million. C. 11 million. D. 2 million. The answer is A. 7 million. The majority of Canadians identify themselves as A. Christians. B. Muslims. C. Hindus. D. Atheists. The answer is A. Christians. Which of these is Canada's only officially bilingual province? A. Quebec. B. Manitoba. C. Ontario. D. New Brunswick. The answer is D. New Brunswick. Modern Canadian society is largely derived from which civilizations? A. French and Danish. B. English and French. C. English and German. D. French and German. The answer is B. English and French. What proportion of Aboriginal people are Inuit? A. 12%. B. 40%. C. 4%. D. 25%. The answer is C. 4%. In what year was it recognized by the House of Commons that Quebecois are a distinct nation within United Canada? A. 1986. B. 1996. C. 2006. D. 1966. The answer is C. 2006. Between 1755 and 1763, more than two-thirds of French settlers were deported due to a war between the French and A. the Aboriginal peoples, B. the British, C. the Germans, D. the Americans. The answer is B. the British. In their own language, what does Inuit mean? A. the fighters. B. the sailors. C. the hunters. D. the people. The answer is D. the people. Canada is often called A. the land of waterfalls. B. the land of religion. C. the land of isolation. D. the land of immigrants. The answer is D. the land of immigrants. Those who immigrate to Canada are expected to A. ignore Canada's principles. B. embrace democratic principles. C. any of these. D. retain the principles of their original country. The answer is B. embrace democratic principles. What act formed the Confederation of Canada? A. the British North America Act of 1887. B. the British North America Act of 1867. C. Magna Carta of 1215. D. the Quebec Act of 1774. The answer is B. the British North America Act of 1867. It is believed that the ancestors of Canada's Aboriginal peoples came from where? A. South America. B. Europe. C. Africa. D. Asia. The answer is D. Asia. Roughly what proportion of First Nations people live on reserved land? A. 50%. B. 5%. C. 75%. D. 25%. The answer is A. 50%. The phrase that rules Canadian institutions, peace, order and good government comes from where? A. the British North America Act. B. Roman law. C. the Code Napoleon. D. the U.S. Constitution. The answer is A. the British North America Act. Anglophones are usually referred to as A. Canadian Englishmen. B. English Canadians. C. Original Canadians. D. British Canadians. The answer is B. English Canadians. The descendants of the original French settlers are known as what? A. Native French. B. French founders. C. First Canadians. D. Acadians. The answer is D. Acadians. The majority of French-speaking Canadians live in which province? A. Manitoba. B. Ontario. C. Quebec. D. New Brunswick. The answer is C. Quebec. How many people in Canada have English as their first language? A. 7 million. B. 18 million. C. 11 million. D. 23 million. The answer is B. 18 million. Which of these is not one of the founding peoples of Canada? A. The British. B. The Germans. C. The Aboriginal peoples. D. The French. The answer is B. The Germans. All Aboriginal people who are neither Inuit nor Métis are known as what? A. First Nations. B. Red Indians. C. Aliens. D. They don't have a name. The answer is A. First Nations. The first constitutional document for Canada became law when? A. 1867. B. 1962. C. 1815. D. 1923. The answer is A. 1867. Canada is known across the world for being A. Strong and free. B. Devious and wily. C. Weak and soft. D. Tough and aggressive. The answer is A. Strong and free. How many Anglo-Quebecers have a heritage going back 250 years or more? A. 500,000. B. 1.5 million. C. 250,000. D. 1 million. The answer is D. 1 million. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples in Canada are Métis? A. 5%. B. 30%. C. 15%. D. 60%. The answer is B. 30%. When were territorial rights for Canada's Aboriginal people first established? A. 1663. B. 1963. C. 1763. D. 1863. The answer is C. 1763. Which of these does not border onto Canada? A. The Gulf of Mexico. B. The Atlantic Ocean. C. The Pacific Ocean. D. The Arctic. The answer is A. The Gulf of Mexico. Roughly how many First Nations communities are there in Canada? A. 1,200. B. 600. C. 300. D. 150. The answer is B. 600. Since the 1970s, the majority of immigrants to Canada have come from where? A. Africa. B. Asia. C. Europe. D. South America. The answer is B. Asia. Which war did Canadian troops fight in as part of a United Nations force between 1950 and 1953? A. Vietnam. B. Korea. C. Laos. D. Cambodia. The answer is B. Korea. Terry Fox, a British Columbian, tried to run across Canada in the Marathon of Hope to raise money for what? A. Multiple sclerosis research. B. Parkinson's disease research. C. Cancer research. D. Heart disease research. The answer is C. Cancer research. The period of rapid change in Quebec in the 1960s was called what? A. The French Revolution. B. The Quebec Revolution. C. The Quiet Revolution. D. The Noisy Revolution. The answer is C. The Quiet Revolution. When was the Canadian Pension Plan introduced? A. 1947. B. 1940. C. 1965. D. 1920. The answer is C. 1965. Canadian company Research in Motion is best known for its invention which communications device? A. The iPhone. B. The BlackBerry. C. Galaxy phone. D. Nokia phone. The answer is B. The BlackBerry. In which year did Canada pass the threshold that more than 50% of its population had adequate food, shelter, and clothing? A. 1927. B. 1957. C. 1947. D. 1951. The answer is D. 1951. In 1975, Canada welcomed over 50,000 refugees from which country? A. South Africa. B. Hungary. C. Ethiopia. D. Vietnam. The answer is D. Vietnam. Widely regarded as the greatest hockey player of all time, which Canadian team did Wayne Gretzky play for between 1979 and 1988? A. Montreal Canadiens. B. Toronto Maple Leafs. C. Edmonton Oilers. D. Ottawa Senators. The answer is C. Edmonton Oilers. When was La Francophonie founded? A. 1975. B. 1970. C. 1947. D. 1950. The answer is B. 1970. In what year was an act passed which guarantees equal access to French and English federal government services? A. 1969. B. 1979. C. 1959. D. 1989. The answer is A. 1969. Canadian Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered which revolutionary drug? A. Penicillin. B. Viagra. C. Warfarin. D. Insulin. The answer is D. Insulin. How many times have referendums produced a negative result for Quebec sovereignty? A. Never. B. Once. C. Twice. D. 3 times. The answer is C. Twice. Which of these is currently Canada's largest trade partner? A. Mexico. B. United States. C. China. D. European Union. The answer is B. United States. Canadian football teams compete in the Canadian Football League for which trophy? A. The White Cup. B. The Grey Cup. C. The Red Cup. D. The Black Cup. The answer is B. The Grey Cup. Perhaps Canada's best-known contribution to the visual arts is A. The Group of 8. B. The Group of 4. C. The Group of 7. D. The Group of 6. The answer is C. The Group of 7. Which of these was not invented by a Canadian inventor? A. The heart pacemaker. B. Electric light bulbs. C. The telephone. D. The television. The answer is D. The television. Federal government unemployment insurance was introduced in Canada in which year? A. 1930. B. 1960. C. 1950. D. 1940. The answer is D. 1940. In which year did Donovan Bailey of Canada break the 100 meters world record and become a double Olympic gold medalist? A. 1988. B. 2000. C. 1996. D. 1992. The answer is C. 1996. What is Canada's official summer sport? A. Hockey. B. Soccer. C. Lacrosse. D. Football. The answer is C. Lacrosse. What if Canadian Sidney Altman, Richard Lee Taylor, Michael Smith, Bertram Brockhouse, Gerhard Hertzberg, and John Polanyi all got in common? A. They've all won Oscars. B. They've all won Nobel Prizes. C. They've all won Pulitzer Prizes. D. They've all won Emmys. The answer is B. They've all won Nobel Prizes. Canada's modern energy industry began with the discovery of oil in 1947 in which province? A. Manitoba. B. British Columbia. C. Alberta. D. Quebec. The answer is C. Alberta. Canadian James Naismith invented which sport in 1891? A. Baseball. B. Basketball. C. Korfball. D. American football. The answer is B. Basketball. Who were the last group of Canadians, in 1960, to get the vote? A. Chinese Canadians. B. Mexican Canadians. C. Aboriginal Canadians. D. Japanese Canadians. The answer is C. Aboriginal Canadians. What organizations has Canada joined? A. UN. B. NATO. C. NORAD. D. All of these. The answer is D. All of these. Who developed the Standard Time Zone system? A. Alexander Graham Bell. B. Joseph Bombardier. C. Sir Sanford Fleming. D. Charles Best. The answer is C. Sir Sanford Fleming. Which group of Aboriginal peoples is the largest in Canada? A. Inuit. B. First Nations. C. Acadians. D. Métis. The answer is B. First Nations. First Nations is largest group of Aboriginal peoples in Canada. Who are the Francophones? A. People who speak French as a second language. B. People who speak English as a second language. C. People who speak French as a first language. D. Immigrants from French. The answer is C. People who speak French as a first language. Today, there are 18 million Anglophones, people who speak English as a first language, and 7 million Francophones, people who speak French as their first language. Who are the Quebecois? A. Immigrants from France. B. Descendants of French settlers. C. People of Quebec. D. European settlers. The answer is C. People of Quebec. Quebecers or Quebecers, French. Quebecois, are terms that are sometimes used to refer to people living in the province of Quebec in Canada. Who is Louis Riel? A. The second Prime Minister of Canada. B. A Métis leader and the father of Manitoba. C. The Prime Minister of Canada during World War II. D. The Prime Minister of Canada during World War I. The answer is B. A Métis leader and the father of Manitoba. When Canada took over the vast northwest region from the Hudson's Bay Company in 1869, the 12,000 Métis of the Red River were not consulted. In response, Louis Riel led an armed uprising and seized Fort Garry, the territorial capital. He was a Métis leader and the father of Manitoba. Who were the group of 7? A. 7 inventors who invented the snowmobile. B. 7 scientists who discovered insulin. C. 7 women who fought for women's right in Canada. D. A group of Canadian landscape painters. The answer is D. A group of Canadian landscape painters. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Why is the North known as the land of the midnight sun? A. Daylight in fall can last up to 24 hours. B. Daylight in spring can last up to 24 hours. C. Daylight in summer can last up to 24 hours. D. Daylight in winter is at midnight. The answer is C. Daylight in summer can last up to 24 hours. The North is often referred to as the land of the midnight sun because at the height of summer, daylight can last up to 24 hours. Due to the effort of which Canadian, Quebec granted women the right to vote in 1948? Kathleen Wynne. B. Agnes MacPhail. C. Rachel Notley. D. Therese Casgrain. The answer is D. Therese Casgrain. Due to the work of Therese Casgrain and others, Quebec granted women the vote in 1940. Who is father of Manitoba? A. Louis Riel. B. Alfred Boyd. C. Mark Hannibal Gerard. D. Henry Joseph Clark. The answer is A. Louis Riel. Louis Riel is the father of Manitoba. Canada got its name from word Kannada, which means A. family. B. country. C. home. D. village. The answer is D. village. Cartier heard 2 captured guides speak the Iroquoian word Kannada, meaning village. By the 1550s, the name of Canada began appearing on maps. 1/3 of people live in which province? A. British Columbia. B. Ontario. C. Quebec. D. Alberta. The answer is B. Ontario. At more than 12 million, the people of Ontario make up more than 1/3 of Canadians. From where does the name Canada come from? A. From the Inuit word meaning country. B from the French word meaning joining. C from the Métis word meaning rivers. D from Kannada, the Huron-Iroquois word for village. The answer is D from Kannada, the Huron-Iroquois word for village. Give an example of where English and French have equal status in Canada. A. In schools. B. In the workplace. C. In the Parliament of Canada. D. At City Hall. The answer is C. In the Parliament of Canada. Give the first line of Canada's national anthem. A. O Canada, our home and native land. B. O Canada, our province and native land. C. O Canada, from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. D. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. The answer is A. O Canada, our home and native land. In what industry do most Canadians work? A. Natural resources. B. Tourism. C. Service. D. Manufacturing. The answer is C. Service. What are the three main groups of Aboriginal peoples? A. First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. B. Acadians, Métis, and Inuit. C. United Empire Loyalists, Métis, and Inuit. D. Inuit, Métis, and Acadians. The answer is A. First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. What are the three main types of industry in Canada? A. Natural resources, tourism and service industries. B. Tourism, services and manufacturing. C. Natural resources, tourism and manufacturing. D. Natural resources, manufacturing and services. The answer is D. Natural resources, manufacturing and services. What are the two official languages of Canada? A. English and Métis. B. Inuktitut and French. C. English and French. D. English and Inuktitut. The answer is C. English and French. What country is Canada's largest trading partner? A. Mexico. B. United States of America. C. China. D. Japan. The answer is B. United States of America. What did the Canadian Pacific Railway symbolize? A. Easy access to the West Coast. B. What can be achieved by working together? C. Unity. D. Ribbons of steel. The answer is C. Unity. What is a francophone? A. A person who speaks English as their first language. B. A smartphone designed by the Canadian company Reup. C. A person who speaks French as their first language. D. The first phone in Canada, invented by Alexander Graham Bell. The answer is C. A person who speaks French as their first language. What is a major river in Quebec? A. Fraser River. B. St. Lawrence River. C. Niagara. D. Hudson's Bay. The answer is B. St. Lawrence River. What is Canada's national winter sport? A. Golf. B. Nordic skiing. C. Lacrosse. D. Hockey. The answer is D. Hockey. What is the capital city of Canada? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Hull. The answer is A. Ottawa. What is the highest military honor a Canadian can receive? A. Purple Cross. B. Badge of Courage. C. Order of Merit. D. Victoria Cross. The answer is D. Victoria Cross. What is the largest religious affiliation in Canada? A. Catholic. B. Muslim. C. Jewish. D. Hindu. The answer is A. Catholic. What is the name of the royal anthem of Canada? A. O Canada. B. God Save the Queen, or King. C. La Marseillaise. D. The Star-Spangled Banner. The answer is B. God Save the Queen, or King. What is the population of Canada? A. About 20 million. B. 38 million. C. 17 million. D. About 34 million. The answer is D. About 34 million. What song is Canada's national anthem? A. God Save the Queen. B. O Canada. C. Star-Spangled Banner. D. Amazing Grace. The answer is B. O Canada. What three oceans border Canada? A. Atlantic, Arctic, and Bering. B. Atlantic, Arctic, and Pacific. C. Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic. D. Hudson, Pacific, and Atlantic. The answer is B. Atlantic, Arctic, and Pacific. When is Canada Day and what does it celebrate? A. June 15th of each year to celebrate the anniversary of Confederation. B. August 8th of each year to celebrate the joining of British Columbia to Confederation. C. We celebrate the anniversary of Confederation July 1st of each year. D. May 21st of each year to remember Queen Victoria. The answer is C. We celebrate the anniversary of Confederation July 1st of each year. Where does Canada rank in the world's largest countries? A. First. B. Second. C. Third. D. Fourth. The answer is B. Second. Which of the following statements about residential schools is not true? A. The federal government placed many Aboriginal children in residential schools to educate and assimilate them into mainstream Canadian culture. B. The schools were poorly funded and inflicted hardship on the students. C. The schools were welcomed by the Aboriginal people. D. Aboriginal language and cultural practices were mostly prohibited. The answer is C. The schools were welcomed by the Aboriginal people. Which port is the largest and busiest in Canada? A. The Port of Halifax. B. The Port of Montreal. C. The Port of Vancouver. D. The Port of Victoria. The answer is C. The Port of Vancouver. Who are the Acadians? A. Aboriginal people of the Arctic. B. French-speaking Catholics living in Ontario. C. The descendants of French colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. D. English-speaking refugees who settled in Louisiana. The answer is C. The descendants of French colonists who began settling in what are now the Maritime Provinces in 1604. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? A. Louis Riel. B. Sir John A. Macdonald. C. Lester B. Pearson. D. Abraham Lincoln. The answer is B. Sir John A. Macdonald. What does the Canadian flag look like? A. Red and white with provincial emblems. B. Red and white with a beaver. C. White with a red border on each end and a red maple leaf in the center. D. Red with a white maple leaf. The answer is C. White with a red border on each end and a red maple leaf in the center. What should you do if you do not receive a voter information card telling you when and where to vote? A. Go to the police station. B. Call your member of parliament. C. Assume you cannot vote. D. Call Elections Canada or visit their website. The answer is D. Call Elections Canada or visit their website. Which animal is an official symbol of Canada? A. The moose. B. The hawk. C. The beaver. D. The deer. The answer is C. The beaver. In which year did French colonists begin to settle in the Maritime Provinces? A. 1614. B. 1594. C. 1604. D. 1624. The answer is C. 1604. Métis are a people with a combined heritage of Aboriginal people and A. Asian people. B. South American people. C. African people. D. European people. The answer is D. European people. Which of these is not one of the 12 largest ethnic groups in Canada? A. Polish. B. Dutch. C. Ukrainian. D. Scottish. The answer is A. Polish.